Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today to celebrate the achievements women have made and reaffirm that we are already equal under current law. Women represent 51% of the population, comprise over half of college students, make up the majority of medical and law school students, and run 12.3 million women-owned businesses while generating $1.8 trillion each year. Little girls can be whatever they want to be, whether that be an astronaut, a doctor, full-time mom working at home, or a member of Congress. The ERA would not add to the rights already guaranteed by the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause, but it could jeopardize them. How? Two ways. First, by making it discriminatory to offer benefits to women not offered to men. Women's scholarships, women's colleges, job protection for pregnant women, and safe spaces may all be on the chopping block. When the Equal Rights Amendment was first proposed a century ago, many women's rights advocates recognized the negative ramifications it would bring. In fact, future First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt expressed concerns that legislation protecting women in the workplace could be eliminated should the ERA become part of the U.S. Constitution. Secondly, because the 1972 definition of sex as male and female is no longer accepted by many today, and instead would require new protections for sexual orientation and gender identity. This is a path that has already proven to be a threat to women's privacy, safety, and equality. Don't take it from me. Talk to the 9 women in California who were sexually harassed in a women's shelter by a biological male identifying as a woman. The Equal Rights Amendment would not only codify inequality for women, but also destroy the rights of the unborn. ERA advocates have been unequivocal about their support for abortion and for using the ERA to overturn pro-life laws. Courts have already used state versions of the ERA to force taxpayers to fund abortions. A federal ERA would threaten state pro-life laws, federal protections like the Hyde Amendment, and conscience protections for American medical professionals who may otherwise be forced to perform an abortion. Fortunately, the time limit to pass the ERA expired decades ago, and there's agreement that Congress cannot go back and remove a deadline from a previous constitutional amendment initiative. For example, the Supreme Court has already recognized that the 1972 ERA expired, and the Department of Justice issued a ruling saying, Congress may not revive a proposed amendment after a deadline for its ratification has expired. Just over a week ago, a federal district court ruled that the deadline to ratify the ERA, quote, expired long ago, unquote, and the recent ratifications of the amendment arrived, quote, too late to count, unquote. Pretending we can remove the deadline for passage is both futile and deceptive. The ERA is a threat to the historical strides women have made. It will eradicate state and federal pro-life laws and policies, and the process is blatantly unconstitutional. I urge my colleagues to vote no on this resolution and instead uphold the Constitution, promote life, and protect women's rights. Thank you. I yield back.